Launching probe.
Shepard, important news. Know you're busy. Have to deal with the collectors. Planning attack. Too important to wait. Just receiving data. Still processing, analyzing likely scenarios. Not sure how to begin. Too much intel. You know about the genophage?
Why don't you give me an overview? I'd like to hear your take.
1,000 years ago, Krogan uprising threatened galactic stability. Drastic measures required. Only one way to stop them. Salarians designed virus to control population. Turians deployed it. Called it the genophage. Only 1 in 1,000 Krogan births successful.
How does the genophage work?
Rewrites Krogan genetic code, affects fetal development of major organs by exploiting Krogan organ redundancy. Infected female Krogan release hormones during pregnancy, affects fetal organ development, inhibits dominant recessive hierarchy establishment. 1 in 1,000 unaffected develop normally. Rest never develop nervous systems.
Couldn't doctors just block that hormone from being released?
No. Hormone regulates tissue production. Alteration results in non-viable pregnancy. More complicated than that, of course. Everything interconnected. Talk more when you've got a doctorate.
If the Salarians created the virus, why were the Turians the ones to deploy it?
Salarians developed genophage as deterrent, threat to bring Krogan to negotiating table, never meant to be released. Turians believe in total war. Different mindset, saw a weapon and used it to end Krogan rebellions. Personally suspect Salarian teams knew Turians would deploy virus. Turian aggression well known. Useful as plausible deniability.
You're awfully casual about what happened to the Krogan.
Krogan were a threat, refused to negotiate. Bad as the Rachni. If not for genophage, Krogan would have overrun the galaxy.
Thanks for bringing me up to speed. What do you need to tell me?
All that public knowledge. But I know more. Classified, top secret. Cannot leave this lab. Recent generations of Krogan started adapting. Genophage losing effectiveness.
Sounds like cause for celebration. The Krogan might finally recover from what happened to them.
No, Krogan too warlike. Culture broken. Population increase now would lead to increased aggression, more war. Personally led a team, created new version of genophage, released it onto Tuchanka, other colonies, restabilized Krogan population.
The first genophage was a mistake bordering on a war crime. How the hell could you do it again?
Exactly the reaction feared. In small numbers, Krogan sympathetic, tragic, galactic regret for deployment of genophage. But in large numbers, expansion, aggression, war, Krogan too dangerous, had to stop them. First genophage was necessary. Cultural fragmentation made modified genophage even more necessary.
We're not done, Mordin. You can't just drop a bomb like this and walk away.
Can discuss ethics later. More immediate concerns. Blood Pack mercenaries captured former team member. Malin, last seen on Tuchanka, might torture him, make an example. Recovering Malin would be a personal favor to me.
Do you think they found out your team updated the genophage?
Unclear. No way to determine until we get to Tuchanka.
What you and your friend did is unspeakable. I don't care what the Krogan do to him.
Short-sighted. Consider political concerns. What if Project becomes public? Krogan outrage, possible war. At least investigate. Talk to Urtnot clan chief on Tuchanka, or scouts may have seen Blood Pack. Your choice, Commander. Won't bother you further.
Miranda wants to see you, Commander.
Commander, sorry I haven't really had time to check in since we launched. Glad to be on board. And I have to apologize, I'm a little unfocused due to a personal matter, but I won't let it affect my duties.
Always have time for my crew. What is it?
As I said, it's a personal matter. I don't want to waste our time if it turns out to be a goose chase. But... well, I got pinged by a ghost the other night. Family.
I'm listening.
My private log got an update about the Hugo Gernsback, the ship my father served on. It sent an SOS last week, reporting a crash and requesting a rescue. Shepard, that ship went missing 10 years ago. I hadn't talked to my father for 3 years before that. I've buried everything but a body. I'm not convinced it isn't just some automated distress signal ticking over. It's been too long.
I'd think you'd be more excited that your father might be alive.
He wasn't around enough for me to have bad memories. It's an old, well-healed wound. But if he's actually alive and needs help, I also want to note that it's not normal procedure for distress calls to be routed to the Normandy. This was passed to my personal log through Cerberus filters.
Any signs that this was a Cerberus front? Who passed this to you?
I doubt the elusive man would let a direct operations stake hold this long. If there's a link, it's probably just about money. Cerberus needs diverse holdings to fund projects like, well, you. And whoever sent this my way covered their tracks. Someone could be fishing for favors, or thought it would get under my skin. Who knows with that bunch?
Tell me about the Hugo Gernsback and what it was doing.
Privately held frigate. I looked over the mission brief when it disappeared. Nothing stood out. Typical research and grab operation. Find an uncharted planet, stake a claim, and establish as large a presence as you can as fast as possible to shut out competitors.
I think we can spare the time. Pass the coordinates to Joker.
I appreciate that, Commander. I don't expect more than dusty old bones, but it'll be good to close the record.
Chef surprise again? Come on, Rupert.
I'm sorry, Princess. Filet...
Shepard, I find myself in the unpleasant position of asking for your help. I don't like discussing personal matters, but this is important.
Miranda, you're one of my crew. Tell me what's on your mind.
My father was extremely wealthy. He wanted the ideal daughter, and he paid a great deal to genetically tailor me. When I learned that my father was more interested in controlling a dynasty than raising a daughter, I left.
How did your father take that?
He was less than pleased. Several of his security guards were injured in the process. He knows not to come after me. But this isn't about me. I have a sister, a twin, and he's still hunting her. Cerberus has kept her safe, until now. She's living a normal life on Ilium, safe and hidden from my father.
So you think your father has tracked her down?
Precisely, Commander. My sources indicate he knows that she's on Ilium. I've tried to keep her hidden without impacting her life, but I'm out of options. He's too close. I need to relocate my sister's family before it's too late.
What do you know about your sister?
She's my genetic twin. We're identical, but she deserves a normal life, and she's going to get it no matter what.
Does your sister's family know about this? Are they okay with being relocated?
They know nothing. They're completely uninvolved. Normal. I told Cerberus, and they're coming up with a positive reason to move the family.
What do you need me to do?
My father is extremely persistent. I'd like to go to Ilium when Cerberus is moving the family to make sure none of his agents get too close. My contact's name is Lantea. She'll be waiting for us in the lounge near the Nos Astra docking bay.
Jack would like to talk with you, Commander.
Thinking about past missions. Got a minute? You might learn something.
The subject is stable, Shepard. Integration with onboard systems was seamless.
Can he see anything in there? Does he know where he is?
Unlikely. Current neural patterns indicate minimal cognition. Barring ship-wide power loss, the nutrients in the tank could sustain him for over a year.
Any idea how dangerous this guy is?
He is a Krogan, Shepard. If you were asking whether he is actively hostile, I don't have the necessary data to answer. Okeer's technology could impart data, not methods of thinking. The subject may know of his views, but would not necessarily share them.
What can you tell me about this guy? Anything unusual?
The subject is an exceptional example of the Krogan species, with fully formed primary, secondary, and tertiary organs where applicable. No defects of any kind, aside from the genetic markers of the genophage present in all Krogan. I cannot judge mental functioning.
Stand by. I'm gonna open the tank and let him out.
Cerberus protocol is very clear regarding untested alien technology.
He's either a powerful addition to the crew or a time bomb. I'd rather deal with it now.
Very well, Shepard. The controls are online. The switch and consequences are yours.
I'm Commander Shepard, and I don't take threats lightly. I suggest you relax.
Not your name. Mine. I'm trained. I know things. But the tank, Okeer couldn't implant connection. His words are hollow. Warlord, Legacy, Grunt. Grunt was among the last. It has no meaning. It'll do. I am Grunt. If you are worthy of your command, prove your strength and try to destroy me.
You wouldn't prefer Okeer? Or Legacy?
It's short. Matches the training in my blood. The other words are big things I don't feel. Maybe they fit your mouth better. I feel nothing for Okeer's clan or his enemies. I'll do what I'm bred to do. Fight and determine the strongest. But his imprint has failed. Without a reason that's mine, one fight is as good as any other. Might as well start with you.
I have a good ship and a strong crew. A strong clan. You'd make it stronger.
If you're weak and choose weak enemies, I'll have to kill you.
Our enemies are worthy. No doubt about that.
That's acceptable. I'll fight for you.
I'm glad you saw reason.
Huh? Offer one hand, but arm the other. Wise Shepard. If I find a clan, if I find what I want, I will be honored to eventually pit them against you.
Tight little group you got here. And a pretty nice ship. You'd be rich if you took to piracy. But you wouldn't. I can't figure you, Shepard. Doesn't matter. I've got to talk to you about something.
I'd like to ask you a few things.
Later. I have to talk to you now. I got thoughts like little bugs crawling in and out of my head. I can't stop them. You know I have a history with Cerberus. You know how far back it goes?
I'll listen to anything you have to say, Jack.
Your pal, the Elusive Man? Never seen him before, but Cerberus raised me. First thing I remember is my cell door in a Cerberus base. They did experiments, drugged me, tortured me. Whatever chance I had to be normal, they stole it by trying to turn me into some super biotic. The doctors, the other kids, every one of them hated me. They let me suffer.
What did they hope to gain by torturing a little girl?
It was something about pain breaking down mental barriers and how it might clear the way for a more biotic power. I'm sure there was a payoff due at some point, but I wasn't gonna see it. I was wired up in a cell.
They tortured you just to see if they could make a strong biotic? That's it?
Wasn't in a position to ask, Shepard. All I know is a little girl crying in a cell, begging for the pain to stop.
You love the power they gave you.
They never gave me a choice.
How did you get out of there?
There was some kind of emergency, and I made a break for it. The other kids came out of their cells and attacked me. So did the guards. I just killed everything in my way and ran. Guess my biotics had developed faster than they thought. I managed to get a shuttle off the ground. Drifted until a freighter picked me up. The crew used me, then sold me. That's my uplifting escape story.
There were other children in the base?
I didn't know much about them. I was kept separate. They hated me just like everyone else there. When I broke out, I had to fight through them all. I showed them, but there's a loose end I need to deal with.
You're absolutely certain that Cerberus was running the facility?
I was a kid, but I wasn't dumb. I know how to listen. It was Cerberus. Don't care how far down the chain it was. They thought they were so clever. Turns out, mess with someone's head enough and you can turn a scared kid into an all-powerful bitch. Fucking idiots.
I'm gonna talk to the Elusive Man, and he'd better have some answers.
He'll just deny everything. That's not what I'm after anyway. I found the coordinates in your files. I want to go to the Telton facility on Pragia where they tortured and drugged me. I want to go to the center of the place, my cell. I want to deploy a big fucking bomb, and I want to watch from orbit when it goes.
Attacking our allies is gonna derail our mission. Not a smart move.
The files say it was shut down after my escape. It's been abandoned for years. They going to care if I blow up a garbage dump?
You've lived with this your whole life. Why do this now?
Like I said, I found the coordinates in your files. You can't expect me to just sit on information like that.
I'll set a course for Pragia.
I owe you, Shepard.
Shepard, I'm glad you came by. I've got something. I may need your help. You remember the fight on Omega?
I don't think either of us will forget that day anytime soon.
You know I didn't work alone. I had a team of 11 good men. They all died that day, before you arrived. All but one. A Turian named Sidonus survived. He betrayed us, Shepard. He's the reason my men are dead.
Do you know why he did it?
No. I'll be sure to ask him right after I put a shot through his skull. He disappeared just before the attack, but I found him, or at least a way to get to him. There's a specialist on the Citadel, named Fade. He's an expert at helping people disappear. Sidonus was seen with him.
What happened? How did Sidonus betray your team?
He tipped off the mercs, told them where our base was. He drew me out with a false job, then let the mercs hit my team. My men weren't prepared. They tried to hold them off. By the time I got back, there were only 2 survivors. They didn't last long. All 10 of them dead. Because of him.
What are you planning to do when you find him?
You humans have a saying, an eye for an eye, a life for a life. He owes me 10 lives, and I plan to collect.
You sure that's how you want to play it?
I'm sure. I don't need you to agree with me, but I'd like your help.
Where do we find Fade?
I've arranged a meeting. We'll meet him in a warehouse near the Neon Markets down on Zakera Ward. Thanks, Shepard. I appreciate you taking the time to help me.
Tough fight on Horizon. I fought slavers and kidnapping rings, but nothing like that. Some slavers took a little girl on a colony in the Skepsis system.
Shepard, what can I do for you?
Have you got time to talk?
My band, well on the way to Omega.
We didn't really have time to chat while taking out Geth on Haestrom, did we? I can't believe so many people died. Thank you again for getting Rieger out alive. All for data about stars blowing up. I hope the Admiralty Board gets some use out of it.
Have you heard any word about Cal Rieger? Did he survive his injuries?
He sent me a message. It looks like he'll make a full recovery. Anytime you get a suit puncture, it's a matter of luck. Rieger got out with a relatively minor infection.
Tell me about the fleet's Admiralty Board.
It's one of 2 major political powers among my people. The admirals make decisions related to defense or needing immediate action. They also handle major criminal charges, like treason. The other political power is the Conclave, a group of representatives from each ship. They make most of our laws and fleet decisions.
Any news yet on the data you sent?
I'm not likely to hear anything for a while, or on an unsecured channel for that matter.
Having any trouble settling back in on the Normandy?
I like the quiet. I miss the old faces, though. Presley, Engineer Adams, all of them. It doesn't seem right having Cerberus in charge of this ship. Are you sure working for them is the right thing to do?
I caught some tension back on Freedom's Progress, and again when you first came aboard. What happened between Cerberus and the Quarians?
They attacked one of our ships, the Edena. It seems they were attempting to kill or control a young human biotic who was on the fleet. I don't really know the details. I do know that Cerberus made an enemy of the Quarian people.
Does it look like they're pulling the strings, Tali? I'm not working for them. They're working for me.
So you ordered the listening devices and tracking beacons that are all over this ship. I know you need resources to fight the Collectors, but be careful, Shepard.
I fully expect them to betray us at some point. And we'll be ready.
I'm glad to hear that, Shepard. Just let me know how I can help. For now, I should get back to work. Thanks for coming by.
Commander, you've received a new message at your private terminal.
What's wrong?
They lost contact with New Kid. Might be the Collectors.
Did your family get out of there?
I don't know. There's no
Do you need something?
Have a few minutes to talk?
Certainly. We haven't had a chance since I joined.
When we met you, you said you were dying.
Yes. I thought you'd want to know more. You don't have to worry about the rest of the crew. My illness is not communicable, even to other Drell. It's called Keprel syndrome.
Are you gonna be alright until the end of the mission?
I should be fine for another 8 to 12 months. The more time I spend in humid environments, the faster it progresses. I think it's safe to say that by the time my body is incapacitated, we'll be victorious. Or dead. Either way, I won't be a burden to you.
What exactly is the problem?
My people are native to an arid world. Most of us now live on Kaje, the Hanar homeworld. It's very humid and rains every day. Our lungs can't deal with the moisture. Over time, the tissue loses its ability to absorb oxygen. It becomes harder to breathe. Eventually, we suffocate.
Can't they do something about that?
The Hanar have funded a genetic engineering program. They should be able to adapt us. The project has only been running for a few years. I don't believe my body will still draw breath by the time it bears fruit.
Then don't live on Kaje, or use breathers.
Drell have a close relationship with the Hanar. We rely on each other. The best we can do is keep our homes very dry inside.
Can't they do something about that?
The Hanar have funded a genetic engineering program. They should be able to adapt us. The project has only been running for a few years. I don't believe my body will still draw breath by the time it bears fruit.
Then don't live on Kaje, or use breathers.
Drell have a close relationship with the Hanar. We rely on each other. The best we can do is keep our homes very dry inside.
Is there anything we can do here? Normandy has a state-of-the-art medical bay.
No, thank you. It's being attended to. If the finest medical minds in the Hanar illuminated primacy can't solve the problem, I doubt your ship's medic could. Thank you for your concern. Trust me, this won't affect my performance.
How are you?
I've spent much of the last 400 years on my own. It is nice to have a colleague to chat with. I may be rusty at it, however. If you are patient, I would love to talk.
How much do you know about our mission?
I know that I've sworn an oath to follow you, and that you seek to destroy the Collectors. That is enough for me.
You don't want to know why the Collectors need to be fought?
When you live by a code that compels you to harsh action, you learn the dangers of curiosity. If I must kill a man because he has done wrong, do I really wish to know that he is a devoted father?
I'd like to hear more about the criminal you were chasing on Nos Astra.
I hope you will understand if I wish to avoid this topic. It is deeply tied to my code and beliefs. You might say it is personal.
I need to know if this will impact the mission.
It will not.
What do you think of Cerberus?
I've heard rumors, but learned long ago to form my own impressions. There is too much room for interpretation in the opinions of others.
Why were you willing to work for Cerberus when you didn't have first-hand knowledge?
I work for you, Shepard. Our methods may be different, but our goals are not.
I should get back to work.
It has been my pleasure, Commander.
Fields. Any news on your brother?
He's gone. They're all gone. But we'll get them back.
Shepard and Lawson are on it.
Hey, Commander. It's, pretty crazy the people you can run into out here, huh? I mean, it was probably a setup or something, but it was still good to see Ash. Operations Chief Williams, wasn't it?
She moved on. I can't blame her.
She was frontline with you blowing up half the Citadel, and I'm the one who gets roped back into saving the galaxy? What, did somebody switch our files?
You're the force that pulls it all together, Joker.
Yeah, it sucks, I'll give you that.
So, how do you think we're doing?
Well, the Normandy's not as ready as she could be. There's always more we could upgrade. And as for the crew, you'd have to ask a people person.
What do you think about the people we're picking up?
Well, about the ones you went out with last. Well, it seems like Garrus has finally worked that stick out of his butt, but now he's trying to beat guys to death with it. I can't believe I like the old Garrus better. No surprise, Mordin acts superior to everyone, like he's got tenure at FU. It's just my opinion, though. There's really no need to go spreading it around.
Ever think about the old Normandy and the trouble we got up to?
Yeah, those seem like the good old days now, but come on, it was hell at the time. Geth, Saren, Sovereign, and then we got dumped. We're stuck in a weird place, sure, but back then it wasn't all sunshine and bunnies.
What happened to the rest of the old crew? I heard most survived.
Almost did. Presley didn't. The rest of us just sort of drifted apart. The Alliance didn't care. I don't think they liked all the non-humans in your crew. We were your team, Commander. With the Normandy destroyed and you gone, there wasn't much keeping us together.
I assume everything is going well up here?
I really want a chance to put the Normandy through her paces. I just have to trim up the drive output and it'll be like we never lost her.
Safety standards advise against manipulating drive settings while engines are powered and in use, Mr. Moreau.
Commander, can we shut this thing off? I don't need it in my day-to-day.
I'm no fan either, but we're stuck with it.
Until I find a soldering gun. There's gotta be some wires I can cross to make it hurt.
No sabotage. Understood?
Yeah, don't break the boss's toys.
That's it for now.
See you, Commander.
You came all the way down here to see us?
You're speaking to our commanding officer.
I'm touring the ship, getting to know my crew.
I'm Engineer Ken Donnelly, handling the power control systems. This is Gabby.
That's Engineer Gabriella Daniels, actually. I'm responsible for the propulsion systems.
What can we do for you, Commander?
Are you set up okay down here?
We can't complain. I just wish it didn't take so long to calibrate the FBA arrays.
Kenneth, you're complaining.
What kind of problems are you having?
When they upgraded the Normandy design, they got a bit sloppy with the FBA couplings. I won't bore you with the tech, but there is an array of attenuators in the primary power transfer system that channels the field bleed.
Kenneth, you're boring the commander with tech. In short, if we had T6 FBA couplings installed, it'd save us a lot of maintenance time each day.
Where did you receive your training?
Both Gabby and I started in the Alliance, serving on the SSV Perugia.
She flew in the first wave at the Battle of the Citadel. We saw Sovereign firsthand.
Why did you leave the Perugia?
After you died, that weasel Udina backslid on the Reaper Menace.
They discounted Sovereign as an isolated threat, as a single...
Which was bullshit. They said your warnings of a greater danger were mistaken or delusional.
We lost respect for Alliance leadership. We need to fight the real enemy, and only Cerberus seemed to be doing that.
How did you wind up with Cerberus, Ken?
Once you were gone, the Alliance brass descended like vultures, tearing apart everything you'd said. I was very public with my defense for you. I didn't hold back.
That's an understatement. If Kenneth wasn't such a talented engineer, they'd have court-martialed him for insubordination.
But it got me noticed by the elusive man. He made an offer, and here I am.
So why did you join, Gabby?
Kenneth and I have been partners in crime since we graduated from Tech Academy. When he got the Cerberus offer, I insisted that it include me. They'd fall apart without me.
Thanks, Mum.
Also, I love engines, and the Normandy is state-of-the-art. When I got the opportunity to work on her, I had to jump.
What do you think about Cerberus?
Actually, we don't know much about the organization other than the Normandy team. We know our mission and who's in charge.
We're off to kick the Collectors right in their daddy bags. That's enough for me.
Carry on.
Will do, Commander. I'm amazed Shepard came down to see us.
I told you he would.
Commander Shepard. I watched the Normandy crumble with you on board. It's good to see you alive.
I'm shocked. You're serving on a Cerberus vessel now?
Surprising, even to me. Yet, here I am. The kind of trauma you endured would have changed most people. But not you, I see. Welcome back, Shepard.
Do you have everything you need?
I believe so. This medical bay seems very much like the sick bay on the original Normandy. Only thing missing are my private reserves. I even had a bottle of Ceres Ice brandy that I was saving for a special occasion.
I'll keep an eye out for a replacement bottle.
Oh, you needn't. It's expensive, and we have much larger concerns ahead.
Doctor, you've been with the Alliance for years. Why leave now?
After the Normandy was lost, the surviving crew was reassigned. I was stationed at the Mars Naval Medical Center, a very respectable position, but it wasn't on a starship.
Colonial military life isn't for you?
I've spent most of my life on warships, never knowing what the next mission might bring. I'm used to the hum of engines, the creaking of bulkheads, that subtle vertigo when the momentum dampeners kick in. Life planetside is just too static, too boring.
You're not the Cerberus type, Doctor.
I don't work for Cerberus. I work for you. On a mission that may be crucial to the survival of the human race. I have faith that your dealings with Cerberus will be ethical. I trust you, Commander.
There's a very good chance this mission will be a one-way trip. Are you prepared for that?
I've been through the reclaiming of Shanxi, the Skillian Blitz. We survived the Battle of the Citadel and the destruction of the Normandy together. I've lived a full life. No regrets. I'd like to make sure the crew gets the same opportunity.
I'll see you later, Doctor.
Commander.
Weren't you originally stationed on Horizon?
Commander Shepard, the hero of the Citadel. You did humanity proud that day. Mess Sergeant Rupert Gardner here. How can I be of service?
Do you have everything you need?
I make do. But have you ever tried to prepare a decent meal with military provisions? I'm good, but I'm no miracle worker. Taking down the Collectors is going to be rough business. The crew deserves a few fine meals before they throw themselves into the fire.
What do you need?
If I had some quality ingredients... Oh, shit. You've got more to worry about than grocery shopping on the Citadel. Forget I mentioned it.
If I head that way, I'll keep an eye out.
Much appreciated. Most of this list is probably standard fare for those namby-pambies on the Citadel. Anything else you'd like to talk about?
What do you do here on the Normandy?
What don't I do? Most think of me as the ship's cook, but I'm also the facilities technician and custodian. HVAC, plumbing, non-mission critical electrical. I make sure they're all clean and running.
So the man cleaning the toilets is also preparing the meals?
I wash my hands. Most of the time. This ain't no luxury liner. You have to pull your own weight in a Cerberus vessel, and I catch what falls through the cracks. Through the cracks.
How do you feel about working for Cerberus?
Damn proud. Cerberus gets the job done. The Alliance and Council have got their heads buried so deep up their butt puckers they can't see squat. It'll take good old human ingenuity to crush these Collector vermin. Only Cerberus knows that.
How did you find your way into Cerberus?
Can you believe I was once a family man, working the Ezo rigs along the frontier? I was happy enough, but losing everything to Batarian raiders can change your outlook. I needed to make a difference. I'm no soldier, but I've got skills, and Cerberus keeps an eye out for talent. I'll do whatever it takes to help. Be that plumbing a sewer, routing an air duct, or keeping everyone's bellies full.
I won't take any more of your time.
Back to work.
Shepard, the men's restroom is on the port side of the ship.